Hello everybody, thanks for joining us today on the Yield Mastermind video blog. My name is Phil Randazzo. I'm one of the co-founders of the Yield Mastermind group. And today I want to share with you guys the 3 successful goal setting tips that I learned from a road trip. And so all this came about when I moved from Denver to Chicago. This was a very long journey that I was about to partake on. I had to drive a U-Haul from Denver to Vegas, unload all the furniture that my parents let me borrow to furnish my place in Denver. Then I had to fly back to Denver from Vegas and get in my car and drive the rest of my stuff from Denver to Chicago. Now this was a very expansive 3-day journey that I went on, but while on this journey I learned a lot of really cool, interesting tips in regards to goal setting. And so the first one here is finish what we are so excited to start. And this all came about because as you begin a road trip, you're very excited. The idea of this journey, I went on this journey with my mom. The idea of this journey is so exciting. You're about to, go through a couple different states. It's going to take a while. You're going to get some one-on-one time with somebody special, or if you're doing it by yourself, you can listen to music or some audiobooks. But shortly after you begin the journey, the fatigue of driving sort of sets in. You kind of realize, okay, I'm going to be on this journey for about 13 more hours. This isn't exactly what I wanted it to be. But the cool thing about a road trip versus setting goals is that on a road trip, you have to keep trekking. The only thing for you to do is turn around and go back, and that's just going to delay your journey. The problem with goal setting is a lot of us have the same excitement and energy towards setting our goals, but once we move forward with those goals, we realize, man, this is going to be a longer journey than we thought. This is going to be a little more difficult than we thought. And so we just kind of stop right where we are and don't even continue with what we're, trying to accomplish. And it's very upsetting to me. And so with this, going on this road trip, I just kind of had this realization, like if we could, day in and day out, every single day, bring back that same energy and motivation and drive that we, had that first day when we set that goal, if we could bring that back and embody that every single day, what would our world look like? What would your world look like if you could put that into every day that you go to accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish? It's very easy to wake up the next morning after setting a goal and realize, okay, man, I got to go to work. I got to pay bills. I got to feed my family. There's things you have to do that kind of come to reality the next day. And a lot of people just kind of throw their goals, to the side. Like, okay, that's not important right now. I got to feed my family. That's what's important. And I'm not saying that's, what's not important. But as one of my mentors, Chuck Blakeman, would say, it's the priority of the important versus the tyranny of the urgent. We have these things that are urgent, that require our attention right now, but most of the time it's those things that are stopping us from reaching that priority of the important, from reaching our goals that we've, envisioned and that we want to accomplish. So that was the first thing I learned from my road trip. The second thing, it's about the journey and not the destination. And so, we've heard that quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson many times, life is about the journey, not the destination. And, there's a lot of truth to it. Same thing with goal setting. So when I was on this road trip, if you take a plane from Denver to Vegas, it's a very short 2-hour flight. You fly over the mountains and, you kind of get this bird's eye view of the mountains. If you're even paying attention, most people aren't. They got their window closed, they're listening to music, they're doing whatever they're doing. But when you have to drive that terrain, you're very present while you're driving, and you get to view this beautiful scenery. You get to see the Rockies, you get to drive through Vail, you get to, hit some of those Utah National State Parks, and it's just a beautiful sight to behold. And so, the same thing takes place with our goals. A lot of us would love to just set our goals and then bam, the next morning have achieved them all. But the thing with that is that, goals take a long period of time, and over that time period, you gain knowledge and you learn these things, and you grow as a person. Let's say you have a goal that's going to take a year to accomplish. If you just wove your magic wand over the goal and it just happened to be completed, you wouldn't have gotten any of that knowledge or experience that you might have gained over that year. And let's be honest, how much do you grow in a year's time? I know for me, a year is a very, very long time where a lot can happen and a lot of personal growth takes place. So that's what we have to realize when we're setting and achieving our goals, is that we have to be present in the journey and utilize every single obstacle as exactly what it is. It's just an obstacle. It's not a setback that's going to stop you forever. You just got to figure out a way to get over it or go through it and then continue on that path. And the third thing that I learned is that the journey does not end once the goal is reached. So I'm pulling into Las Vegas. I finally get up to my driveway and I pull in and I'm thinking, okay, thank God I'm finally home. I'm gonna go sit down and relax. I've just been in the car I drove the whole 14 hours. And as I pull up into my driveway, my dad's out, ready to help me move this stuff in right as I arrived. And, at first I was like, man, you gotta be kidding me. I don't wanna do this right now. I just wanna kind of, relax and, let this achievement settle in per se. But, you just gotta step right up to the plate and tackle that next thing. It felt great once I sat down after having all that, moved into the house. If I had to do that the next day, it would have been just another thing that I would have had to take care of. And the sooner I got to it, the sooner I got it done and the better I felt about it. And so the same thing goes with goal setting. You set a goal, you reach that goal, but ultimately there's something past that. There's something beyond the goal that you just reached that's kind of an overarching bigger goal that you want to accomplish. And so the quicker you get moving to accomplishing that next bigger goal that's going to kind of relate to your big why, or what, why you're doing what you're doing every day, the quicker you get on to doing that, the better off you're going to be. Now, I'm going to be very clear here. I'm not saying to not enjoy the success of completing a goal. It's a very long journey to complete even a waypoint, a simple incremental weekly goal. But when you do so, just kind of let it soak in and, kind of give yourself a pat on the back and say, wow, okay, I set out to accomplish X, Y, and Z, and I accomplished X, Y, and Z, and as you accomplish these goals, as you accomplish goal after goal after goal, it starts to incrementally and exponentially add up. So as you accomplish one goal, it kind of adds the fuel to the fire to accomplish the next one. And as you continue accomplishing goals, they just stack on top of each other. And that's why you need to accomplish them as soon as you possibly can, because the more goals you accomplish in the shorter amount of time, the more leverage that's going to give you to continue this, upward trend. Now there is going to be, there's peaks and there's valleys. So you have to be aware that when you're in the valley, it's just something that everybody goes through. You just have to battle through it and, keep your eye on your vision. And if you do that, you will be successful. So thank you guys for joining me today for this video blog. I just wanted to let you know real quick, our website is yieldmastermind.com, and you've already found this video on YouTube, but just in case you want to know what our direct link is, it's youtube.com/yieldmastermind. If you have any questions, please go to the website and you can fill out one of our forms, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you guys for joining us today.